So Shweta, following up on the post that
Yeah,
couple of days back you had done, right?
yeah,
So where a young professional was, kind of tormented all the way through her career, and in the first few months and before her convocation kind of completed and came to a close, she passed away as well.
yeah.
So
So I think the post that I did was and not just me. Like there are like thousands of people who have like posted about it, and it's more based on the letter that the parent or the I think it's the mother that wrote the letter. And again, we obviously we only know that part of it, and in that context, it was posted. I think I agree with what he said. There's like hard work, incredibly hard work for like 15 hours a day, 16 hours a day, doing something you love is very different from hard work or 15 hours of work doing something you're probably not that much in love with, right? And imagine anything in your life. For example, if I look back at my school life, volleyball is something that I loved, right? And we used to play it in the scorching sun. So we would literally to will play to a point where we are almost about to faint, right? And we loved it, and we did it over and over and over, and some of us became like really good at volleyball. So doing something you love for like 15, 16 hours a day versus doing something you do not love as much is a very different thing. So I think that is something that makes a huge amount of difference. What exactly are you doing, right? I am not against hard work. I think everyone should work very hard in their 20s. uh, Not,
and 50s also.
yeah. No, I think 20s is not negotiable for me. Like, you cannot convince me, no one can convince me that you shouldn't be working very, very hard in your 20s, because I think a lot of our I would say growth, uh, interpersonal relationships, soft skills. A lot of these things develop only in your 20s, because there's almost no focus on those apart from a few very selected institutions. There's almost no focus on the intangible part of you, right? On that side of your personality that cannot be put in numbers, right? So that growth doesn't happen unless you are working really hard in your 20s, right? Because you need to work really hard, and then you figure out, okay, I'm working hard and this person is working hard and this person is working hard. What's the differentiator? And that's when you realize that the differentiator is these soft skills, your personality traits, right? A lot of things which cannot be put down in numbers, a lot of things which are not tangible, right? That makes the difference. That starts making a difference, because at one point you reach a point where tangibly everyone has the same qualification, right? If you are like the best in your academics, you'll reach a point where everyone is the best. Then what's the differentiating factor? I think it's the personality, a lot of personality traits which we are not taught. And I think you need to work really hard to kind of find those gaps in yourself and then work on them. It happened with me. I was not a very good communicator. Today I am, but like today I think I'm a good communicator. But at some point I was not a very good communicator, especially in the beginning of my 20s. And I realized communication is one of the most critical skills if you want to sell something, sell yourself. So I think working hard is very important, but I also understand that you should you should be doing something you love, because it is something, it actually makes a lot of difference when you work on something you love. Also, I think uh, we haven't been taught a lot about taking care of our mental health, right? Which I think we should be. There should be enough focus on the non-tangible aspects of our growth, non-tangible aspects of our personality, right? We were taught all the physical issues, right, that we can encounter. We knew fracture, we knew fever, right? But we did not know panic attack unless most of us had it, right? We did not know that this is a panic attack, right? So I think again it comes to our own responsibility of coaching ourselves, finding the right mentors, like you said, to make sure that yes, we work hard, but also it is not impacting us in a negative way, or not hampering us, not harming us. And I think as an ecosystem, it's not something one individual can fix. As an ecosystem, we have to look at fixing it. If I have a company where everyone is working 12 hours to 14 hours, I cannot afford to work 8 hours and like grow at the rate that someone who is working 14 hours a day, right? And if everyone is working, then whose responsibility is it? Can my manager fix it? No, right? Because my manager also has competitors, right? Who are like on the same plane, on the same level of hierarchy that he is competing with, right? So I don't think it's an individual responsibility. I don't think one person can solve it, but it's a systemic problem. We have to look at system design of how this happens, and kind of work more from like a policy point of view. There's not something that one person can solve or one department can solve. It's something that's very democratic to be solved.
To further double down on that,